All right. And I'm like, life happens as it's supposed to happen, and I need not get sucked into any drama. So I'm playing the calm observer. I'm not playing the calm observer. I am the calm observer.
There you go. I am a calm observer.
So yeah, there we go.
Very good. Very good. All right. It is the 5th of January.
Oh,
You got cool glasses.
I- a good fairy gifted these. They appeared in the mail, and
God, that's awesome.
I know I'm so grateful.
you would not believe what a difference they make on how tired your eyes get.
Oh God, yeah. I may have to let Steve borrow them during the day, and then I'll. But oh
Yeah, you might.
yeah,
I don't know. How do you feel about wearing orange glasses in your business meeting, Steve? But you're muted, so we can't
Yeah.
hear you. So we're assuming you're saying, oh, yeah, I'm totally cool with that.
They're not visual, so I'd be fine.
But there you
Oh,
go.
okay, there you go.
I've been trying. I've been trying to wear mine more and more during trainings and stuff, and people are like, "Well, what is that?" And I tell them, and they're like, "Where'd you get those?"
yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
I just didn't realize how tired my eyes were after many hours on the computer until I started wearing these, and I could tell the second I put them on, I was like, "Oh my god!" So
Now what you need to do, become affiliate for those glasses, right?
Yeah.
And then the next thing you need to do is wear your Healy. And people
yeah,
like that, you're like,
they'll
oh.
really be cooking.
And then right after that,
And then,
always,
yeah, they're like, what is that? And you're like, oh,
I'm
that's
always careful with who I'm talking to if I have my Healy clicked on my shirt, because some people would be receptive and some people would blow up. So it's like, this is not the group. Here, let me move it.
I've been known sort of quite by accident to wear it into the store or into the church.
I wondered why
Like,
you
what
did.
is that? I shared with her a little bit about it and she's like, I'm like, you interested? She's like, no. I'm like, okay.
Oh, well, but hey, we all, a lot of us said no.
I know. I know.
That repeatedly.
Repeatedly.
And as you know, as you are learning in any sales technique that they'll teach you, is always you ask a question that somebody can say no to at the very beginning, because no is our automatic response to protect ourselves and protect us from disappointing a friend. So we always say, is there any reason you couldn't? And it sounds so trite, but it's like, oh, no.
I actually don't know that one yet. So
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's that training will come, and it's actually, it's a borderline, as in everything we say to people. You have to be sure it comes from a real place or not, and not a manipulative, but all conversation, I think, can be that way.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I like this. I kind of like that, because what I've been learning so far is make sure you get them to engage with as many yeses as possible. But I like that, get that no out of the way.
And sometimes you start off as simple as, hey, would you like a stick of chewing gum? Is there any reason would you like to get a no out? That is so our human nature. I didn't believe it until you test it. And it's like, oh.
That's so funny.
That's awesome.
I went to an IT workshop about 7 or 8 years ago, and from Dell, and the guy was like this national speaker. I don't even remember his name now, but his whole philosophy is about getting to know, and he started off with a project where his project was to go out and collect 1,000 no's as quickly as he could,
Yeah.
and he said he was just blown away by the amount of yeses that he got, and just selling a particular product that he was selling, and I'm like, interesting.
It's like, you are messing up my quota.
But yes wasn't his objective. Getting the no's.
Exactly.
Huh.
Getting no's was his objective. I
Yep.
need to plug. This is very organized yet. My
So,
Healy.
Kate, I'm gonna be curious to try these tonight when I go to bed because I read a Nook at night, and
Much
and the
better.
light bothers my eyes more from it. And I felt like my eyesight was changing. So I'm be curious to see how it works with the bright light of a you know.
You know, I read a Kindle. That's a really
Yeah.
good idea. I haven't tried that.
Yeah, because my eyes get tired from the various lighter, brighter that I have to do. Yeah.
Oh, they're going in my room tonight too.
We're all going to be sitting here with our glasses for long.
Ground control to Mage Tom.
Okay, Rocker.
I'm having out of body experiences every time I watch your cat walk behind you. I think it's my cat walking behind me,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
Fiona, how'd you get up there? And then no, that's Nancy's cat.
And here's the thing, they have to get cooped up. They're in our bedroom all day long. So right now, one is on top of the fireplace. It's headed toward the scaffolding. It's just, so if you hear a thud or something, we'll just move on. And
And
All
my
right, so
kids in here because they always come to Quantum Burst
Yeah.
every time. Don't you?
So let's just line up. We finished 2020. As far as my household is concerned, we've got like 2 more days in tomorrow. And then the next time will be the 20th, 21st. So we're still at the tag lagging. The 2020 doesn't want to celebrate quite until we get to the 20th.
Right.
Oh. Weird.
yeah.
So, but we've crossed over, we've gone through the solstice and the birth and the burning bowl and the white stone, and we open ourselves for that which is calling itself forth, that which is seeded already for us, for each of us individually, for us collective, for our country, for our world, for our universe. And so just notice what's in your awareness. The crazy that Kate's not grabbing onto, the chaos of the workmen and the noise in Steve and Nancy's house, the cedar that's in my cells or whatever. And just notice it without resistance. Just notice it. Go, wow, I'm just feeling this. And notice it. And I just have felt that, or not wanted to feel that, or tried to push away that. Just notice what's there with complete and total acceptance, allowing it to simply just be there. And with each notice, feel yourself just dropping deeper. Finding that stillness, that point of stillness. A point of surrender. And we wipe our slate clean. So we bring no expectation except for good and greater good and ever evolving, expanding consciousness. I just notice what is. And we line up together, 4 of us. And we line up with the quantum. We line up with all as well as we turn ourselves and our world towards miraculous outcomes. We line up with one possibility in that. And as we line up, just notice what you notice. In your physical, your mental, your emotional, your spiritual, your vibrational bodies. And then come into coherence with that which you notice. And then because we can and we do, we just lift it and we gently release it. Just lift it, gently release it. And we lift it and we gift it to the universe fully and freely. And then as we do so, just receive it. Another deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And what did you notice?
Can I jump?
Please.
Your image of wiping the slate clean, I just had a flashback to, I don't know, reading some class taken in the 80s. And there was truly one about imagining that your thoughts in your mind were like a blackboard. So, and it was about, and it particularly in the moments that there was stuff on the board that you wasn't serving you well. Yeah. And I can remember working with someone at this place, and I was just having, energetically, we were not having a meshing that there was nothing verbal, but you just knew the energies were, and nothing positive was going to come out of it. It just wasn't going to be good. I remember going into the bathroom and nothing like doing your work in a stall, and visualizing, seriously erasing, how a word won't want to disappear, erasing, and God knows how long it took me. Thank God nobody was looking for me, but I just wouldn't let myself leave until it was energetically clear, truly clear, gone. And I remember walking back in, and whatever project I had going on or something, this person came out a little bit later and had some input or something. And I could seriously say there was nothing off about the energy. And I remember laughing and going, yeah, guess it wasn't her. Yes, it wasn't so much her in my mind at first, but just to go in and what reminded me today is as I have some thoughts and concerns about this Washington tomorrow and whatever's going on, I needed to remember all is well and it is done. Sometimes we're watching it may not be the last throes of a way of thinking. It may or may not happen in this lifetime, whatever. It was to erase that though and say, Kate's famous, it is done. I remember all is well. And to reclaim that, when everything in you wants to go, yeah, but. So I'm going to be erasing some of those little, whatever that phrase is. So that's That's what came up for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good week for that, really.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what if all the yabbits are just little chalk flecks on that chalkboard? Just yabbit, 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 yabbit.
And I want to share today, you know, we had the workers here and they came in, they finally got scaffolding. So it's unnerving to watch them. You just don't want to watch them. But, and it, you know, there's high pitched whining sound as it's not even the nail gun. It's just like on the end of you. But in the midst of all of it, I came out, I'd taken a shower and got ready early. And they had the sweetest Christmas music playing.
Oh,
The sweetest Christmas music. I mean, a station that I wish we could have found earlier because it was so sweet. It was sweet Christmas music.
Um,
And I'm
it's like,
and I'm just cracking up. One of the guys working is not somebody that we really know. And I just went into Stephen and go, oh my God, I walk out to you know, to this sweet ballad of Christmas. So that's mine.
that story is totally about finding the miraculous outcomes and the unexpected blessings. I mean, you think in a construction crew in here pounding on your ceiling, that's not what you think they're going to be playing, right?
No,
And yet you go, oh, how sweet.
how sweet, how sweet. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey,
oh gosh, I've kind of lost it all. I would say that I just felt nice and settled and kind of in myself instead of scattered into comings and goings and beings and doings and um, yeah, with my coworkers taking the week off, so I'm trying not to work too much because we don't have anything scheduled for this week. So it's kind of odd not to have to be pushing to do like this and this and this and this and this. So we're just kind of floating around here, which is very unusual and kind of okay, but we're not used to that.
so like that whole take a breath and can you like be okay in this spaciousness?
And it's the snow, which had said like 2 days before it snowed, because I now live just about 3 hours south of where I used to live, but that 3 hours in Illinois is huge.
Yeah.
So like the last winter that I lived up north, and I had lived there for 20 plus years, there was so much snow that my end of the driveway mailbox was a little hole you opened in a snowdrift.
Oh, wow.
And I mean and you know, it just never melted that year, and it just kept snowing, and it was so cold. And down here we get a little snow and then it melts, and we get a little snow and then it melts. You know, so I had said to Shirley a couple days ago, I'd like just like one of those really nice 10-inch snows when you wake up and the world is so soft and quiet and still. There's really nothing like it. And I got up at 3. We were supposed to get 1 to 2 inches of snow, and I got up at 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like, nope, we got a big snow because I could hear it. And so I went and looked out the front window, and we got about 6 inches, and it was gorgeous. And it is still here, and it is still coating all of the branches, like the snow on the branches, because we've had fog, no sun, no wind, and it's cold. And usually when it coats the branches so beautifully, the sun comes and it's gone. But no, that stillness is just everywhere. So we won't be leaving the house for a long time either. And we're okay with that too.
Yeah. Well, now you have a new reason not to leave the house.
Just hang out. Yeah. No, neither one of us prefers to be out among the ice and snow.
Yeah. Yeah. From the safe space of your easy chair.
We'll just stay here unless we absolutely have to.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Steve?
Yeah, well, I had a little bit of trouble getting into the space. Part of me was still hearing the sound that Nancy was talking about. To me, sounded like a giant taking a piece of sheet metal and just slowly ripping it. You know,
Oh. Yikes.
and it's like, and all the while, I mean, I'm on conference calls and I'm trying to focus on creating presentations, and I'm like, holy mackerel, this is intense. So yeah, I just used a lot of the time just to let go of that.
Yeah.
You know, move out, move on. Uh, Part of me came back around to session I did on the Healy with Australian bush flowers, and I couldn't remember which ones they were, but I just kind of allowed it to settle in, whatever was in that cloud, and that was good. And then it came about and was just easy and I guess peaceful was the word. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. For me too, obviously, kind of because that's how I led it, but it was like just about just settling kind of into that snowbank, just settling into still in this like this suspicious moment. It doesn't feel like 2021 has actually kicked off yet. So we're in this still like kind of this limbo-y spaciousness, or at least in my experience right here today. So yeah, lovely.
I love that word. I may have to use it.
What's that?
Limbo-y.
Limbo-y, yeah, limbo-y. Limbotic, but that sounds weird.
No, I like it. I like it.
So we have decided, because I don't know, we've actually been together, but we've decided that we're going to continue sort of as is. I have one person by the name of David Howard. Do you guys know David Howard?
I don't think so.
He's been a long time off and on client of mine. He's a Unity minister currently in Denver.
Oh,
And he's going to come in for a month and try it for a month. I said, yeah, come try it for a month. He goes, I think it's exactly right, but I don't really want to make a 3-month commitment. So I said, yeah. So he's going to come in 2 weeks from tonight.
he's not the insurance guy.
Oh yeah, he used to do insurance a long time ago before he became a minister.
Then
Arlington for a while.
was he in one of our sessions that we?
Yeah, probably.
I think. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Because he's been in and out of my work, kind of like you guys have for about the same time. I probably met him at around 2005 or something like that.
Hmm.
So, do you know of anybody else? Or, I mean, I just thought, because I was so loosey-goosey about, saying, yes, registration's open. And I haven't talked to anybody. And, it's just been kind of loosey-goosey. So when I'm talking to Dave, I'm like, he's like, when does it start? I'm like, how about the 19th? So he'll be joining us, like I say, for at least a month. And then, so I'm going to see if there's somebody else in the field that's ready, that won't change our dynamic too terribly much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kate, I have to tell you,
If somebody comes into your mind, send them over.
Kate, we were telling her, we might take maybe we need a month. Maybe we need a month. You got to get that first no in. Maybe you need a month off. And then the next thing came up, and Steve and I looked at each other and go, seriously, with what all is going to transpire throughout 2021, not looking a whole lot different than 2020, what are we thinking? And then she said, I think Kate's going to do it. And I go, oh, well, I clenched it.
We'll do it.
We'll do it.
It is always kind of like, well, who's coming? Who's staying? Oh, you're coming? Okay, I'll come. Or, oh, you're not coming? Oh, it's always like that. Not always, but sometimes. And, anyway, that's what we're doing as of now, as of this now moment.
Sounds good.
A personal check-in. Steve and Nancy already know this, maybe Kate does too. It was such a gorgeous day yesterday. We were out with the top down and we were on the highway out with the top down, and I'm like, I could feel the cedar fever stuff entering my system. I could feel it coming in. Must have sneezed 25 times before we highway even, you know, and I'm like,
Wow.
and then I got home, and then last night, and it like landed, it locked in. And this morning I got up, I was going to go to the church. I'm like, I can't do it. Do it. I mean, besides being coronavirus, and besides the fact that I'm sneezing, and besides the fact, you know, and I'm like, I can't. So I'm still not feeling really great, but I'm Healy. I decided I probably ran too much for a while because I ran like 4 hours last night, like back.
Oh, wow.
What's this from? Cedar fever?
So they call it, and here in Austin, especially the cedar trees, they call it cedar fever. And last night on the news, it said it was the absolute most highest ever count, ever.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
history of
wow.
counting the pollen or the granules or whatever, however they count it.
Well, and Kate, what it does is you can see during January, you can see clouds of red pollen. It's virtually red in the sky when it's at,
God.
and you don't, for those of us that didn't grow up here and don't react to it sometimes the first few years, it waits for you.
It gets you.
Okay.
It does.
And you forget after you leave for a while, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in a meeting. This was, I think, my fourth or fifth call today from just work and stuff, but I did everything on Zoom and phone. But the first one this morning, she's like, well, did it bother you before when you lived here? I'm like, yeah, totally. She goes, you forgot? I'm like, that's not the first time I've heard that today. But it was so pretty. And the sun was on our shoulders. It was, oh my God, it was nice. It was like 78 degrees or something yesterday.
Oh, yeah. It was beautiful.
He
Yeah.
was outside our house. He was outside our house.
How fun.
Nice to have a drive-by.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, let's run some programs and see what we're really up to as we get ready to do that. Same intention, tweaking it a bit. Where are we at? All is well. It is done. As we turn our world towards miraculous outcomes.
Sure.
Sure. All right, I'm going to run all Healy programs. First one that came up is protection programs. Second one is pain psyche. That's probably for me. That's come up high every time I've done a resonance scan the last 24 hours. The third one is the chakra program, which is different than the aura program, but similar. Then learning, and then the gold. So let's run all 5 of them. And do you want to do a minute 20, 1 minute 20, or 2:49? I feel like we're in like we're bidding or something,
Right.
or a poker game or something, like
2,000,005 going.
going once, going twice. All right, we'll hold our intentions. We just open to receive. Whatever shows up, shows up. But as we open to receive, we just take a moment to land in that open space. The crossover point, spiritual heart, grounded into the earth, open to the sun. We open to receive. 2 minutes 49, starting now. And that is complete. Take a brush in. When you're ready, open your eyes. What'd you notice?
This is a big cup.
It's a big cup. It's a massive cup. Especially when it's up against the,
Yeah, I like it.
and it's thick, heavy.
I had a lot of head stuff going on. I mean, energetic stuff going on, is what I should say. But it was all in the head. At one point, I felt like there was, and this is an unusual image, but like there was an elephant sitting on the right half of my head, but not crushing me, just almost like a balloon elephant or something, you know, or that's a weird image. And I started to try to put an attribution to it. And I said, no, don't go there. It's not, just let that go. And so the whole thing faded away, but there was still a lot of pressure in the forehead in this area and here. And it didn't feel a negative in any way, but there's just a lot going on and nothing that really identified itself and said, here's what's going on, here's what we're doing. But just there's a lot of energy going on up here.
A lot of energy
And
in the world.
yeah, I came back about the same time you said we were done, and you know, felt good.
Good.
Well, I found myself sitting on a great big giant rock overlooking the ocean.
Mm.
And I was watching as the waves would come in and then they go out. And then pretty soon it felt like the earth was breathing with each wave, like taking a breath and letting it go and take. And then pretty soon I was breathing with the earth. And we were all kind of breathing together. And it was just that. I could have sat there for a long time until this little voice said, and it is done. And I'm like, okay.
Ooh. How dare she?
Time to leave, I guess. Back to the snow.
That's beautiful. Cool.
I want Kate. I had this uh,
Hi, buddy.
snoring.
Snoring, not purring, snoring.
Snoring with and try to you know, because I've heard sounds all day long, so trying to go to a quiet place, and this little one over here is just like, and he's like he's got a little sinus thing or something going on, so it was like a little squeaky one. So part of me had to kind of laugh at that, and then, but I had some of the brain, and it could be because we're coming a little bit off some vibration today, which wasn't bad, but it just is. And but I had the little bit of the brain clutter that Steve talks about, except I had a thought come up in the midst of repeating our mantra and going, hey, that is just not settling quite the way I thought it would. And it's like, and all of a sudden, you know, Steve's elephant turned into me was words. And I'll say it to get it out because I used the giant eraser on it. Why are Republicans so mean? And I thought, well, that's an interesting one. So obviously that's how you're feeling about things right now. So rather than, like she said, you don't go with it, but I did, I was okay. It did not need to be delved on. I felt the eraser dropped down like on a string, kind of like boiling up here. And I just erased that and said, what I heard was, we're all, we're all a little fearful right now. We're just all we're a little unsettled, just a little unsettled. Don't, don't need to label it. And I heard a Hildy song. Kate Hildy is a singing group that Liza and I both have sang with. And there's a song that's called Let Love Lead.
Mm.
And did about 3 sessions ago. And I had to hear that in order to hear all is well and it is done, was because those just didn't want to quite run the show until Let Love Lead came in. And it felt like in the last, time means nothing, 10 seconds or so, it's like I was thinking, oh, thank God this has lasted as long as it had. It could have done it in a minute something, probably. It probably didn't matter. But I just landed back in gently to, oh, all is well. All is
Interesting. I had a song too. We might have done it in Hildy sometime, but we used to always do it as a chant. You can relax now. I think you can relax now. Like I couldn't get any of the other lyrics. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna keep me up at night, one of those, but you can relax now. And I felt like I was almost in a womb, like sacred space in that womb, and letting my being relax, like letting care come and letting surrender come and letting love come. And I don't often have noise in my ear, but here, apparently, I have noise in my ear because the TV's on and it's not far. I mean, my door's closed here in this little room, but, and I'm like, I'm aware of like coming into my womb and you can relax now. And then I'm aware of like pushing the outside out. But then I hear liberty, 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 mutual, liberty, liberty, liberty. And the commercial came on. And it's like, it was really funny. So, and I think Kate's rock was Steve's elephant, actually.
Oh,
whatever it was, could we book it?
Yeah. For sure, right?
Yes.
Well, the way you're singing has some pretty cool lyrics. You can relax now.
Yeah.
By Shayna Knoll or
Yeah, I think it's Shania, no, but maybe
Shania.
Knoll. No, Shania. Yeah, I don't know.
some good, she has some
No.
good stuff.
What are they?
You can relax now. Come on, open your eyes. Breathe deeply now. I am with you. Oh, my sweet, sweet child, who do you think you are? You're the child of God, and that will never change.
Yeah.
It's first 2 verses. Goes
Yeah.
on.
I know I've done it when I know I've done it in retreats and things. Nancy, you've probably done it like foot washings and stuff like that because it's really sweet. It's like, oh, you can relax now. I mean, it just takes you to this beautiful place. I'll see if I can find a YouTube of it or something. Thanks, Steve. All right, gems or flowers or.
I had a fun time with the Australian bush flowers. I thought they were.
Yeah, let's do the flowers. I just did those with Micah the other
Okay,
day.
the Australian, there's the Bach flower remedies, but let's do the Australian bush flowers. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Too.
All right, Australian bush flowers. Holding all that we experienced and our intention. First one is Sturt, S-T-U-R-T, Sturt Desert Rose. Self-esteem, integrity, sincerity towards yourself. Next one is Turkey Bush. That sounds funny. Renews artistic confidence, brings about a desire to express, and allows creativity to flow.
I need some turkey bush.
Turkey Bush. All right, Steve, what's this one? ISO, where is it?
Isopogon.
Isopogon.
Huh.
I can't read it. What is that way? Ability to learn from past experience, regaining forgotten skills, dealing with others without manipulating or controlling them, connecting the head to the heart, allowing access to long forgotten skills and information. Next, I think Mula Mula, M-U-L-L-A.
Huh.
Huh.
Oh.
Deep spiritual healing, forgiveness and trusting, helps opening and overcoming obstacles. And the last one is slender rice flower, for group harmony, conflict resolution when individual egos get in the way, brings about perception of the beauty of others and greater co-operation, not cooperation, but co-operation between people for the common good. A lot of this feels like this, why can't the Republicans just be nicer?
Yeah, right.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All right.
then us too, right?
And then us too, right? Why can't people be kinder? Yeah. All right. 1 minute, 2 minutes.
Is that a 1 or a 2 sideways there, Steve? One's good for me.
All right. So we go back into that sacred space, taking a breath, dropping your shoulders, and we go for 1:20, starting now. And that is complete. Steve.
Hmm. There was a lot of energy flowing, but I didn't do anything specifically uh, defined that I put my hands on or my mind on or my heart on. It just was there. There was a fabric, which I was either part of uh, or seated upon or relaxed. And right now I'm on leather, so it wasn't anything that I'm actually physically seated on. So, and I just felt like part of the fabric, I think, was the gist of it.
Quality, is there a quality like any quality in that?
Well, it was kind of a rough weave. Um, oh, a burlap, but softer. And but other than that, I don't know what the quality there was. Just
Well, you
the
said
weave
like,
itself, I think.
yeah, part of the fabric. So like belonging or,
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah, cool.
I think that's yeah.
Huh, awesome. Okay.
I felt a lot of energy too, but it was kind of a cool, almost cold, but not uncomfortably cold, sparkly kind of energy. Like I could feel it on my shoulders and my hands and my feet and my legs, and then my face. And it kind of felt like when you step outside and the tiniest little snowflakes are falling, and all of a sudden you realize they're landing like on your cheek and your nose and your eyelash. And it's kind of this delightful little surprise. That's kind of how it felt.
Cool. Cool. Nancy?
I think it was the most peaceful one, um, in that uh, I felt myself keeping the mantra and the that love lead. I really felt kind of pulled up uh, to it was almost like a starry night painting, except it was just big. Because as I was saying about turning our world toward it, and all I heard was, "Oh, sweetie, it is so much bigger." But it's oh, but it is your part to be here. So we could seem little, but it's like any little effort and energy that is true and pure is just instrumental in everything that possibly could unfold. It's like watching, I don't know how else to say it. It was like realizing that this is this is not the time for like grandiose looking things. It's the small turn, turns, the incrementally small shifts. There's an absolute resonance going between my heart and just shy of my throat chakra, but it just hummed there. Um, it was very utterly peaceful.
Cool. My experience was a lot of innocence and joy filled sparkles. It was like the innocence of kids just being kind, like the little ones who are just would just run up and give a hug or a kiss to a stranger. That so kind of goes with the small, but the innocence, but the it just becomes, it's like we become that in that, and it comes from that place. So my experience of it that time was in that innocence of the children, like long before there's labels
Hmm.
or biases or
Nice.
Yeah. So what else?
You know, can I just want to share one thing about, if I'm not to lose the energy here, but working with the Healy, because I'm probably slow to be utilizing it right now. And Stephen, we worked a program, or we set up a program, it ran the other day, and I don't remember how long I did a session. Was it an hour? Did I do an hour?
1 hour.
And honestly, I can't even tell you what was out of whack, but it was, I should journal about these, but within that hour, it dropped like 11 points and totally within range, and I could feel it better. And, you know, being one of those that always goes, oh, oh, wasn't that interesting? And it was a bioenergetic, it was one that we had done, and it's like, okay, okay. I love saying you're going to use something, but then discovering it anew each time you kind of like a little kid feeling giddy over here, going, oh, look at that.
Yeah, I continue to discover things. In fact, Kate, do you have yours handy?
Oh, it's in the other room.
Okay, don't worry about it. But I'm curious because I have Healy Bioenergetic Balance Programs 1 and 2, but Steve and Nancy have Healy Bioenergetic Balance Harmony 1 and 2. And what I found out is that,
I have it on my phone.
but I don't think you can get to it. Well, maybe you can until it's turned on.
Oh, I bet.
But I'm wondering if you have balance or harmony.
I have balance.
Okay, so somehow Steve and Nancy got a newer one that's called Harmony.
Really?
And
Okay.
it's
Well,
been,
that's why you had to wait so long.
Yeah, they were updated.
and did you see, Steve, I did send you a message somewhere, I don't remember which modality, about we were looking for allergy and it's been renamed to something else. Did you see?
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, was there one for allergy and now it's something else?
yeah. Because his is harmony, not balance.
Oh, okay.
So on the pink dot, it's renamed. Anyway, very cool. And I'm finding out I'm going to be purchasing my next upgraded level here, but by the end of the month. And I'm going to get a 3-part program. So I'm going to get the Healy Watch and the digital nutrition app. And that comes with the Healy Advise search. And I finally found out, because I'm like, somebody tell me why I want that. Because I thinking it was the same as the resonance, but the Healy Advise search, which is a subscription program in and of itself that you can get, you can actually put in, like I could put in cedar fever and it will say, run this program on your pink app and this program and run this one and this one, and it'll give you like specifics. Where the resonance, what we do on the resonance analyze is it analyzes your field and says, these are the top ones out of our 144 that you need right now. So the search then has a different, kind of comes in sideways or backwards. The digital nutrition app does a similar thing, and it tells you what you need: amino acids, salts, vitamins, supplements, minerals, foods. And you run like, oh, you need broccoli. I actually haven't seen it work. You need broccoli. Oh, let me vibrate some broccoli frequencies. And oh, by the way, you need to eat it too. So
You have a stock.
yeah. So by the end of the month, I'm going to get that. So we'll be able to play with that as well.
Interesting. Yeah.
But that is the difference, Steve.
Interesting.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was
I
trying
mean, I
to
had
get
to
mine.
ask like 5 people. They're like, didn't you get the email? And I'm like, yeah, but I can't figure out what it says. So,
I was trying to get mine to come on, and I've got the Bluetooth earbuds. I've got
yeah, it's
set up on my
confused.
TV downstairs. This Bluetooth stuff.
Yeah. All right. Anybody have anything else?
I feel better.
We'll hold the highest through the final of the Georgia thing tomorrow and the Senate thing tomorrow. I
And
mean,
when are we gonna
today
hear?
and the Senate tomorrow. And
Tonight with Georgia.
Well,
yeah,
No.
Georgia tonight. And,
They're already telling us they don't think they'll have the totals by tonight, Steve, but you know.
Yeah, we'll
You know.
see.
I'll be watching.
Let's
I'm
see.
sure we'll be watching at least periodically, at least at the 10 o'clock news anyway.
Yeah, we'll check in, and
Even Colbert, that's where we like to get our news.
we're so bad. We've been doing, when he goes on break, we're like, oh.
I know, us too. It's like, what? Don't you ever work, we say to him.
The actual name of mine is called Healy. I finally got it to connect, by the way. It's Healy Bioenergetic Balance, Program 1 and 2.
On your blue.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant on the other one, on the pink.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were like looking to try to run that on the pink. And you couldn't find, I don't know, whatever. They look different to me. You showed me the list of them. I'm like, what? So anyway, no,
Okay.
I think these are supposed to update automatically. Sometimes in the pink one you can go to update, but it's supposed to happen automatically. So it might all be changing later, or maybe it'll stay the same. I'm not quite sure.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
All right.
All
Well, good
right.
night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Look at
Phil.
him.
Never get this one.
Oh, look at that cutie.
Oh, no, you've already been on. Okay, I'm sorry.
Bye.
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 Just hadn't seen the people went, all right, talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.